It's not a world championship without a trip to America once more, and new territory once again. Ideal surroundings considering some of the other American circuits are more sports car and stock car based. There is a very good sports car staple event around here, Road Atlanta, but the layout to my mind is extremely touring car friendly. Road Atlanta then, Brazelton, Atlanta, Georgia, and it's a rear wheel drive haven for acceleration and top speed. Proof positive enough by the absolutely mind-blowing qualifying time set by Zhou Sheng in the red flag privateer crown athlete behind all four of the alphas, who are making it a statement to scare Renault into dropping what's left of many and many of their bottles as possible. Swinny laughing alongside me there. Michael Swinnerton. This is Adrian Michael Reese, by the way. And yeah, stop laughing, Swinny. Let's get back down to business. We're about to see race one of round 9. So that's races 17 and 18. And news about Jason Thompson is taking a breath and leaving the World Super Touring cars as we know it. And in his stead, the very well-performing Michele Zanardi will take his place at Honda. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think Jason Thompson might have seen some kind of light and think maybe new, fresh faces need to see what's going on at Honda to make it even better.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to really speak with him yet. I was hoping to do that this weekend, but I'll say more as soon as I find out more. But that's what we know so far. Where Thompson's going, we're not sure, but we do know that he will not be in that Honda Civic next year. And yeah, I mean, both the iRacing Cobra Motorsport Ford Focuses have done very, very well this year already. So it's only fitting that one of those drivers gets the freed up work seat. We just have to see if Zanardi performs to merit with his second season and the extra pressures of a works drive. But that is for next season, of course. Those are answers we are not going to get anytime soon.
As for the rest of them, we'll encounter them during the race. It is an angled start, so the guys at the back might have difficulty seeing the lights. Well, they all do. Lightning start from the privateer BMW in the mid-pack, the only rear-wheel drive car not to qualify well, and the only one not to start well is all 7 of them, all 6 of the works cars at least, head up the hill through the piff paths. And it is Alpha 1, 2, 3, 4 Hartley ahead of them and the privateers. Sheng could ruin this for everybody else by being the train. But there's Ingram on a charge for the championship of his own, already making clean work of Sophia Schneider's BMW right there, up to 7th.
Yeah, he qualified in front of the BMW, obviously lost out on the start line because of the BM's rear-wheel drive capabilities. Looks like he's going to try and push Webber past the Toyota.
Teamwork makes the dream work, but it's still not allowing for move on Webber's part ahead of Zhou Sheng. The absolutely glorious backstretch where incidents have been made in sports cars, obviously not quick enough to flip end over end here.
We're going to go into the major heavy braking zone of the final chicane here. This is where a lot of cars are going to try and outdo each other.
In place since the start of 1998, this chicane, make it safer and a bit more spectator viewing. Also got the drift appendage there just before the bridge. Decent drifting action during the course of the weekend as well. There's Thompson. Farewell, Jim. Farewell, Jace. Here's Bianchi as well, trying to pick up the pieces, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, once again, a bad qualifying effort for Renault. They are slowly bottling it for this championship. This will be 2 years in a row. Bianchi trying to make something of it. He's in the points at least and goes around the outside of Ekstrom. That was a good move.
We've seen it on several occasions where the grip is there for that car, they will strike, and that was not normally a place where cars would overtake, so even more impressive in that regard.
Yeah, we're
Kubica
used to seeing
still
GT3 cars try to squeeze their way through there and have to go single file because they're so wide.
Speaking of single file, Wittmann, Fisichella, 1, 2, both in number and position as well. And the other two Alphas providing enough comfort for those two, whilst providing enough of a comfort blanket for themselves, thanks Zhou Sheng. Thanks Jamie Webber, Ingram still in 7th, pushing him into the final chicane.
Got to be careful doing that. You don't want to push him too hard and push him into the gravel. He leaves a little bit of daylight. That's sensible.
Niki Lama's now ahead of Schneider as well.
Yeah, Schneider dropping back a little bit. She's going to be disappointed with this.
Bianchi ahead of Thompson then. Final turn, Thompson falling back. Bianchi with a bit of momentum as well, closing in on Sophia Schneider too.
This is the Renault charge we've seen happen before. He's made up a few positions now after his dismal qualifying effort. Not entirely sure where Nico Wirtz is behind him, but he'll be somewhere.
It's interesting, they've had some brilliant qualifying sessions early on, so it's definitely not the qualifying to race performance issue. Which is still, it's almost a myth. It's almost a legend.
It's almost the calendar. It's almost the tracks that we tend to see at the first half of the season work well for the Renaults, and then we just go to tracks that are just bad for this car, and they can't work out why or how or get around it.
An absolute lightning strike of a battle soon to happen, because Ingram's now ahead of Zhou Shang and Webber. These DHLs are going to be made mincemeat perhaps if Ingram's momentum is anything to go by. Already a sizable gap to the top two.
Yeah, those two have clocked off, as it were. We'll see if Ingram can get around these two privateer Alphas quickly enough and then start making chase. We see Lammers sending it on Cheng. Bottles it. Cheng gets the momentum through the first corner. We've got formation flying by the two BMWs behind him. Everybody's tripping over each other.
Schneider now ahead of Webber, interesting. Bianchi gaining on them too, even more interesting. And then Thompson, oh, okay. There goes Bianchi again.
Slight wiggle there, that lost his momentum, otherwise he probably could have done something about the BMW in front of him. Instead he's now got to look to defend from Thompson, who, yeah, he's leaving, but that doesn't mean he doesn't want to race.
He's got a job to do still. Now the Ford's not looking so positive this race. Decent races so far. At least ahead of the Cobra cars. At least ahead of Wirtz. And at least ahead of Ekstrom as well.
Yeah, Ekstrom, unlike the Renaults, had a good qualifying effort and he's just going backwards, unfortunately. Again, unlike his teammate. So, and then got a bit of a weird pairing of cars at the Volvo encampment once again, with one car doing very well and one car not so much. I don't think Ekstrom's ever been to Road Atlanta before, so he's definitely got to learn the track and has been learning the track this entire weekend.
Perhaps this is indicative of the Tamiya team and the Cobra team as well, who are in perhaps the places we expected them to be at the start of the season, that these were the two at the back. Tamiya then, definite restructure inbound. Not that they're losing any of the drivers per se, but the seats are going to be freed up. Rydell, team leader role, team management role. Kobayashi off to Japan for the Tamiya team there. It's going to be fresh faces, potentially rookie faces, and that is what we want to see now. We've had some decent rookie runs this time by. Can that momentum go into the next season? And hopefully, with Tamiya's experience and expertise, despite the performance, those drivers should be in some potentially good seats. Speaking of good positions, here's Ingram now dispatched of the two DHL return packages.
Yeah, he made light work of those two somewhere. We didn't see it. Lammer's trying to follow them all through.
Also ahead of Chang. Now, despite appearances, this is a fantastic run from the red flag car. They are slowly melting into the background as the works teams try to force their way through. Schneider and Bianchi. Oh, wide effort there, but they're very happy They were extremely pleased with qualifying 5th, and by the end of the race, they should be pleased as punch with the pieces they've got left over.
Yeah, considering it's a new driver and a new team to the championship, their best finish so far this season was 6th, so they're currently matching that, which they managed to get at Dragon Trail. Looks like he's being a bit of a cork in the bottle so far. We know that Toyota isn't particularly happy at straight line speed. We saw that back when Toyota themselves campaigned that car a few years prior.
Still a new build, not to be confused with, they haven't bought, much like the Chaser team in Japan did, they bought those cars. This is a completely new build that the Chaser prepared for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just got the same drawbacks.
Yes, it still has the inherent flaws that the Crown Athlete possesses.
Top 10 rounded up by Jason Thompson, then Schneider. Slowly, Webber's definitely fallen back outside the top 10, still in the points there. Vert's now made a sandwich of by the 2 Fords.
Wouldn't surprise me if Verts makes up a few more positions. So I feel like the Renaults have got a little bit more speed than the compatriots around them. They just are catching everybody in the wrong parts of the track.
This is where it should do the business then. All the power in the world in that Renault.
You can see the closing rate already. You might even be clear of Dumas before we even get to the chicane. It just depends on how much Cheng blocks and who he decides to block. Are we going to do a twofer?
There's a space.
2 wide through the chicane, and Bianchi is clear.
Next driver.
2 for 1 offer at the chicane. Bianchi said, "Thank you very much."
Fisichella still with the fastest lap and keeping Wittmann on her toes.
Yeah, the 2 outworks Alphas. Fisichella has definitely been the slightly more successful one this year.
And there's still success to be had yet. They are gaining ground on Renault and the manufacturers. We'll talk about that at the end of the race. As for Fisichella's driving performance, it's just about closing in again on Ingram and Verts for the drivers. Lama's 5th, Bianchi 6th, closing in on Liam Hartley.
And if things stay exactly as they are, then both Ingram and Fisichella are going to make huge inroads on Verts, with all the positions in between those 3 drivers.
I was a bit surprised that it already happened. I was like, wait a minute, where's Dumas? There he is down in 8th, so it's already split these 2 parcels, alpha parcels, but Schneider closing in again.
It's Hartley having a go at, or Lammers having a go at Hartley.
And that's happening unless...
Going to go 2 wide through the chicane again. What's Bianchi going to do?
Force the issue round the outside of Lammers as Hartley's got away scot-free. Oh, wobble on from Bianchi. Similar
Keep
to...
the momentum down the outside. Drag race down the start-finish straight. Fastest lap for Bianchi. So, yep.
There we go.
The Renault charge. It's happening.
It's going to be traffic. It could have happened sooner. It's not a case of it should have. It's a case of if not when.
You can coulda, woulda, shoulda as much as you like, but imagine if they'd have been able to put on this charge in clean air.
Now there was a wobble on from Bianchi earlier, and it's not as volatile a turn as the corner at the A1 Red Bull Ring, where we've seen that wobble on happen so many times before, but it's the same sort of drop, it's the same sort of undulation under the bridge down before the braking area for the final turn.
And speaking of wobble on, Hartley just had a deja vu moment going around that corner there. I think the banking of the corner threw him off slightly. He had a massive amount of oversteer. There goes Bianchi out dragging him. That's going to be, yep, pretty cut and dry.
Fantastic rookie drive for Hartley as well. Not to be sniffed at.
Just because we see him getting overtaking and on the defence doesn't mean he's not doing a very good job, of course.
Decent crowd in that spectator section there, despite there not being many. Well, hatchbacks do exist in America, but the popularity of them compared to Hot Rod, the Muscle, the sports car, well-attended event so far.
Yeah, of course. Back in the 90s and the Super Touring days, they tried to get a series going in America, and Dodge plumbed for it, and basically nobody else. Didn't last very long, unfortunately.
Bianchi in Clean Air has capitalised and took a second out of his own fastest lap.
And another 4/10 there just through Sector 1, so he is really on a charge, really wants those extra 2 bonus points.
And that's as much as he's going to get if Ingram's got anything to say about it, and if the Alphas have got anything to say about it. It's going to be, well, we're halfway house so far. It's too little too late for the win, I reckon. So I'll put that kiss of death in there already, just in case it does happen. I will happily be wrong.
I mean, Bianchi down in 8th in the driver's title so far. So he's out of the running in terms of scoring the overall big prize, but he can certainly do runs like this to take points away from the other cars and keep Renault as a manufacturer towards the sharp end of things.
They do need it. We've seen Alpha just closing in point by point, round by round, due to their lack of consistency then.
Yeah,
Speaking of,
Alpha have managed to work themselves out a pretty good formula of just sort of fly under the radar a little bit the first half of the season, and then have a huge breakout in the second half of the season with a massive burst of speed. Hasn't quite worked as well this year as it did last year, but it is paying off once again. You see a bit of a train forming here behind Lammers. He's backed up Cheng and Dumas and Schneider and Thompson and Wirtz and Palou and Sarlo. All of them are right there, with Webber sort of straggling behind him a little bit.
Decent strand of a mid-pack. Not too much of a straggling back mark a lot. Same again, no lapping required, or let's hope not at least, that the leaders don't get impacted by that. Wittmann and Fisichella are still joined at the hip. Mind you, Ingram has got a Frenchman, perhaps a Monegasque even bearing down on him.
There's still a good bit of gap between the two cars, but yeah, Alfa Romeo just formation flying. Fisichella has caught Wittmann a little bit. I don't know if he's going to do anything about it. Wouldn't put it past him to try. There are no team orders. We have been told there are no team orders.
It would be best if Fisichella was the one that got the nod, despite the 2 on the car, despite the number 1 on the Green Goddess's car. Closing in on Wirtz and Ingram in the points, and with 5 laps remaining, still in a strong position though. So Ingram's still behind, so that gap is going to close down.
Yeah, I don't think they're in any danger of losing first and second unless they do something catastrophically silly.
Unlike some Italian teams we know about, but that's in another series. Fight another time. Still a gap then between Ingram and Bianchi for your podium slot for this particular race. Cheng, fantastic run in 7th.
They've only got a few top 10 so far this season, so they'll savour every single one. And okay, he's gone backwards since his qualifying effort, but they'll still be happy with that result.
Nico Wirtz with different opinions about the racing line on the fastest part of the track there. Still in 11th.
Yeah, he's going to want that last, at least one more spot so he can start on pole for race 2. There's a send.
Schneider's going to have to have a word with that, I reckon. Thompson had no choice but to just put the
I don't think he even saw him coming, yeah. And yeah, we know the BMW is good with its brakes, but apparently it's good enough to hold a Renault at bay as well.
I'm amazed the front of that that Megane holds up. Still in one piece at the front. despite what seemed to be a sledgehammer to the back of that BMW.
They're going to want to change the radiator out at the very least, just in case he's cracked it. He'll have to start paying attention to his temperatures inside the car now after that move. But hey, he's got to 10th. He's got provisional pole for race 2.
He did exactly what you expected of him, but not in the right way. And now Thompson's got some level of threat right there. Schneider, would that be a handling issue? Well, is it? Because Wirtz now looks to capitalise on that position.
Yeah, Schneider shut the door there. Once again, used the banking of that corner to her advantage. Was able to carry a bit of extra speed. Yeah, see, that's where the Renault really loses out, is that tight turn there, because Schneider's already gained a big bit of ground on him. And Wirtz has now got to use that straight line speed to make it all back again, which is probably what prompted the dive bomb last lap anyways. See if he does it again.
And this string...
A little bit.
Yes, it did. Didn't seem as aggressive from that particular camera angle, or as violent.
Not as much that time. Still trying to carry the extra speed where he can. He just can't find a way past the BMW in front of him. Has another look into turn 1, takes a tighter line, sends it.
That's much better, a bit more professional.
Yes.
Sort of thing we need to see from a former Super Touring champion.
Still the only front-wheel drive champion of the series.
Now a privateer salad to deal with in front.
Should, in theory, be an easier job. Already lining him up.
So much for pole position in race 2.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. If there's extra points on the table, you may as well take them. We know these Renaults have good race speed and not qualifying pace, so even if they do end up starting 3rd or 4th for race 2, it wouldn't surprise me if you see them overtake the cars in front and then get to play in the clean air.
Being a clean air, looks a bit misty, but there. The Alphas have just crossed the stripe for 3 to go. Wirtz with the power, but will that be a ruffled up Crown Athlete? No, it's not, because Doom has been defensive.
What doesn't help Wirtz, of course, now is he's got the 2 cars in front of him going too wide, so it's an extra big roadblock for him. They've sorted it out now. And here comes Schneider for her revenge. Wirtz has got to be careful now not to get himself caught up in all of this fighting. He just wants to cut through these privateers and get on with his life. He has got bigger things to think about after all. He's got the championship.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed the reverse grid does that for him as Schneider tries for one last ditch attempt through one of the right angles. Here's another one.
Wirtz needs to get a good run through this corner if he wants to be able to send it on any of the cars in front of him into the chicane.
Definite power down right there, definite stability. Will it pay off?
No wobble, he's made time on Schneider. Being able to leave the BMW in the dust. Hasn't really caught onto the 2 cars in front though. As they go too wide again. Nowhere for Wirtz to go.
And whilst this is happening, we might, looking at the track map, be seeing a potential straggler playing merry hell with the 2 Alphas in front. Ah no, there's a decent gap there. I still think there is, so I don't think that Rydell
on the struggle bus again, but I don't think he's going to become traffic or get the blue flag treatment.
Yeah, it's very likely that that won't happen by the end of the race. Not a matter of experience anyway. Ingram still, wow, there is nothing behind him.
Yeah, very quiet race for Anthony there.
And Therefore, Bianchi resigned to the extra points for the fastest lap, enough to perhaps, for this particular race at least, put him ahead on points for the race. Not enough for the round. We'll see that later. Good for the team. But Vert's now 10th.
Schneider's got back in front somehow.
Thompson's going to want to have a say on that. Thompson's want to, make hay on this because he's got a semi-retirement plan to look forward to. He will be racing though. What that decision will be, but it's definitely not with this coverage next year. And there goes Wurtz again with the aggression on the other BMW.
Well, Pallou's managed to sneak his way past Thompson.
All right then.
And here goes Sala around the outside. I think that Honda's burnt through its tyres. It's definitely not going as fast as it was at the beginning of this race.
Final lap then, and Bianchi most likely with the fastest lap. I can't see, there's been clean air for Bianchi this whole time and it's not been improved upon. And I don't think the same will be the case of either Ingram or Wittmann. But this is another wobble on for Wurtz there.
He just carried a little bit too much momentum through the first part of the first apex there, and it caused the back end to get squarely on him. Is he going to send it into here, or Schneider's going to try and send it? One of them is going to do something, or just block each other. They're too busy fighting each other to have a crack at the privateer cars in front of them.
Sheng down to 8th, and it looks as if that is, yes, clean getaway for Rydell. One more lap for him, but it is another Alpha win, another season for Alpha win. But that's, as luck would have it, the first time that Wittmann has won this year. Long awaited. Podium completed, then Ingram in a good position to take the lead of the Drivers' Championship sometime soon. Wurtz is on the struggle bus. Hartley 5th, good run. Lammers 6th, good run. Duma back to normal. Cheng with 8th, that's an excellent run. Wurtz 9th, Schneider 10th. No surprise for pole position there then for race 2. Surprisingly entertaining for a 1-2 that could not be stopped.
Yeah, absolutely. Alfa Romeo certainly have been the first people to figure out this new venue for us with the World Super Touring Championship. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Nico Wurtz can do with a front row start. We'll see if Bianchi can then work his way through all the traffic again, starting at the lower end of the top 10 for race 2. And we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens with those privateers right slap bang in the middle. Can they double up and get more top 10s and really make big inroads on the Cobra Motorsport Ford Focuses that have got a huge lead on the Privateers Championship so far?
And it should be DHL's to take that over, but it's going to be highly unlikely. And for the neutral then, will we see Zhou Sheng from 3rd get into the lead at the start? We'll have to wait with bated breath and see you then. So time being, we're going to have a wander on the paddock, see what else is news. On behalf of Michael Swinnett then, race 2 inbound. Good racing, everyone.